In the neon-lit streets of Shinjo City, Sakata, a seasoned hitman, sharpens his blade with quiet focus. The faint hum of his sleek car waiting outside pulls him away tonight. Business calls. As he drives off, the city's restless pulse seems to quicken. Not far from the shore, inside a shadowed beach house, Yakuza thugs gather nervously. Their leader, Kawano, listens as they report a new gang trying to seize control of the city. Frustrated by their incompetence, Kawano violently reminds them who's in charge, slashing one thug's face with a knife, warning them all. Outside, Sakata moves like a ghost. Silently, methodically, he takes down every guard between him and Kawano's stronghold. Blood seeps through the windows. A man's legs dangle limply outside another. Panic finally erupts inside. The men realize the intruder is among them, and they scramble to get Kawano to safety. On the rooftop, Sakata battles fiercely, his blade flashing through the night as he dispatches attackers with deadly precision. Kawano's men try to flee with him, but blocked by bodies at the front door. They scramble upstairs instead. Sakata is relentless, cutting down every thug who crosses his path, sending some tumbling down the stairs in a brutal cascade. Kawano finally reaches his car, only to find the driver dead. More enemies rush him, but Sakata fights back fiercely until a gangster hurls him through a glass door. The fight turns brutal and personal. Chairs, lamps, anything within reach becomes a weapon. When Sakata falls beneath his opponent, ready to be stabbed, he surprises the attacker by severing his hand, leaving him bleeding and helpless on the floor. Now inside Kawano's bedroom, Sakata uses a fallen thug as a human shield against Kawano's desperate gunfire. Terrified, Kawano tries to escape through the balcony, but Sakata is too fast. He catches Kawano and ends him. Suddenly, a thug tries to ambush Sakata, but before the gun can fire, Fujita, Sakata's handler, takes him out. Together, they leave the chaos behind. Fujita offers Sakata payment and urges him not to retire, but Sakata declines. His family comes first now. Unseen, a shadowy figure watches it all unfold. Back home, Sakata showers off the night's bloodshed, surrounded by his wife, Aoi, and daughter, Ryo. But the peace shatters, screams ring out. Men wearing sinister demon masks surround the house. They thank Sakata for clearing Kawano's gang, explaining their group, the Kimengumi, now controls the city. When one thug grabs Ryo, Sakata lunges to protect her, gun raised, but freezes. When another thug fires at something on the table, the men overpower him, beating him savagely as Ryo pleads desperately. Ao rushes to shield her daughter, begging for mercy with tears streaming down her face, but a cold bullet silences her. Rage consumes Sakata. He orders Ryo to run, but a gunshot echoes. She's hit. The gang leader coldly explains a dark legend. Every 50 years, a demon possesses someone in the city, triggering a killing spree. The Kimengumi's mission is to guard the city from this demon, but Sakata vows revenge. Shots ring out. Sakata falls. The police arrive, discovering the carnage. They conclude Sakata killed his family before taking his own life. 12 years later, Mayor Sanahara proudly addresses the press, boasting how Shinjo City has transformed from crime-ridden chaos to a shining beacon of progress. He announces a new integrated resort, theater, shops, casino, the works. A persistent journalist, Kamima, presses about the mysterious disappearances over the last decade, including a vocal opponent of the resort. Sanahara dismisses it all as baseless rumors. Meanwhile, Sakata lies forgotten in a medical prison, trapped in a vegetative state. When his sentence ends, Fujita collects him and moves him to a rundown apartment in the slums, stark proof that the city's shine is only skin deep. Days pass as Fujita's relative, Raj, cares for Sakata, helping him eat, bathe, and take slow walks. One evening, as they return home, a criminal leaps from the shadows and stabs Sakata's arm, screaming his name. It's the thug whose hand Sakata severed years ago, hungry for revenge, but Sakata remains unresponsive. Elsewhere, Kamiyama meets with the thug sporting a slashed face, probing about the Kimengumi. The thug suspects Sakata was hired by the group, linking the attack's date with the resort's licensing and Sanahara's rise to mayor. They talk about the Kimengumi's dark sources of income, human trafficking and drugs. Suddenly, masked men storm in. Kamiyama flees. The thug is dragged out of the van. One masked man bribes the guards to leave, then enters the room, revealing the victim is Sakata. Kotaro, wearing a demon mask and part of the Kimengumi who killed Sakata's family, taunts him. He injects Sakata with the drug, unaware Sakata is slowly waking from his coma. Caught off guard, Kotaro struggles as Sakata attacks, but the thug manages to knock him out. Guards return, forcing Kotaro to remove his mask, but when their backs turn, he dons it again and kills an officer silently. The chaos escalates, a doctor witnessing the violence is shot dead. Sakata fully awakens, leaping at Kotaro. A brutal fight erupts, ending with Kotaro strangled unconscious. Fujita and Raj arrive, stunned to see Sakata alive and walking. As Sakata leaves, grabbing some food, memories of his family's murder fuel his burning thirst for vengeance. News of Sakata's revival spreads through the Kimengumi's ranks. Their leader celebrates, calling Sakata a demon loose in the city, performing an ancient ritual dance. Soon, the Kimengumi demands Sakata's corpse. At a grimy factory, they dump a bag onto a conveyor belt, but Sakata emerges alive, fighting off guards with raw fury. Takemoto, the factory owner and one of the killers of Sakata's family, watches helplessly as Sakata tears through his men. Guards open fire, Raj is killed, Fujita wounded but fights back fiercely. Takemoto dons his demon mask and consumes the drug that fuels their twisted power. Sakata storms the factory, using everything he can find as weapons. When workers try to trap him in machinery, he fights free with ruthless efficiency. Reaching the office floor, Sakata sees Takemoto pressing a button. The building explodes, but Sakata emerges, shielded by a blanket, ready for the next fight. Fujita appears, wounded and bleeding, apologizing for betraying Sakata's family secrets. Sakata, cold and unforgiving, shoots him. Sakata hangs Takemoto, beating him as the man laughs, pledging loyalty to their mysterious leader. When a call comes through on Takemoto's phone, Sakata hears the leader's voice, revealing his daughter is still alive. The leader is none other than Mayor Sanohara, who explains that crime funds the city's growth. If Sakata wants his daughter back, he must spare Takemoto. But Sakata kills Takemoto anyway. The next morning, reporters blame Sakata for the night's violence, declaring him dead in the explosion. Meanwhile, Ryo, now a teenager, is watched over by Kanta, a masked man in charge of the Kimengumi's human trafficking. His gaze lingers on her in disturbing ways. Sanohara orders Kanta to find Sakata, who remains in hiding. In a humble neighborhood, Officer Takagawa returns to his apartment, surprised to find Sakata there, the man he once saved. Now a fugitive, Takagawa shares footage of the Kimengumi killing a security company CEO, holding the victim's finger as proof. That company now protects the new resort. Armed with Takagawa's gun, Sakata infiltrates the security headquarters, slaughtering thugs floor by floor until he discovers a hidden living space. Behind a couch, Ryo hides. Sakata finds a board covered with photos of his daughter alongside Kana, a woman posing as her father. Kanta bursts in. The fight ignites. As Ryo escapes, Sakata and Kanta battle fiercely, crashing through furniture. Kanta insults Sakata, who realizes this is the man who murdered his wife. With the gun jammed, Sakata prepares to end the fight, but Ryo returns, calling Kanta father before shooting Sakata with her school bell. Stunned, Sakata is hit in the chest by the arrow and pushed through a window. Takagawa arrives, driving Sakata to safety, tending to his wounds. Sanohara calls, demanding Sakata come to the resort if he wants to see Ryo again. Ignoring his pain, Sakata gears up, retrieving his old blade and car. Meanwhile, Ryo is locked away, surrounded by guards and weapons. Sakata's empty car appears outside as a distraction while he sneaks inside, fighting relentlessly with blades, guns, and whatever he can find. Pushing through injuries, Sakata faces off against a swordsman who wounds him, but is killed. Finally, Kanta confronts him again. Their brutal fight ends with Sakata blinding Kanta and knocking him out. Exhausted, Sakata reaches the top floor, shocked to find Ryo, who doesn't recognize him. A masked man, Jin, ambushes and knocks Sakata out. Sanohara reveals the city demon. Legend to Ryo, wanting Sakata to become that demon. He raises his sword to kill her, but Takagawa bursts in, gunfire erupting. Most guards fall. Sanohara escapes, using a man as a human shield. Sakata calls Ryo's name, awakening her memories of the past, the shot that wounded her toy. She runs to hide with Takagawa. Sakata battles Jin, who wields a metal staff, despite Jin's strength. Sakata finds a moment to stab him, sending him tumbling down the stairs. Sanahara unmasks Jin, his twin, marked by a burn. A flashback reveals their twisted childhood and Jin's loyalty to Sanahara. No matter the cost, Takagawa tries to escape with Ryo, but she returns to rescue her father. Sanahara dons his mask, fighting Sakata with a sword. Though weak and wounded, Sakata fights back fiercely. Sanahara slashes off Sakata's free hand, but Sakata keeps attacking with all his strength. They stab each other simultaneously. Sakata seizes the moment to unmask and kill Sanahara with a powerful blow. Rolling down the stairs, Sakata sees Ryo watching. She steps forward, but Kanta returns, shooting Sakata. Kanta tries to reclaim Ryo's loyalty, but she rejects him. Knowing he killed her mother, Sakata appears behind Kanta, ending him with his blade. Collapsed in Ryo's arms, Sakata shares a few loving words before passing away. Emergency responders flood the scene. Among the wounded, Jin clings to life. Ryo waits in the ambulance, then slips away as the chaos unfolds.